Hello, and I am very happy to be showing you what is probably going to be my last video of the year, but I'm really happy to be ending the year with the Dither 5.1 Christmas update, which has 7 new effects that I'm just going to go over in this video so you are equipped to use and mess with these in your own work. Obviously, tutorial stuff will continue in 2026, but I just want to make sure I did a video like explaining this update and telling you what's in it and where to go and stuff. So if you're new to Dither, then this is the version that you've probably just got. All our updates are free. So if you've got Dither in the past and you're wanting to get this version, all you need to do is open up Dither and go to help and then click on check for updates. Once you do that, you can fill out the form, get the newest installer, which is 5.1.1. And I've got that open here and I've not loaded anything in just yet, but the first thing I'm going to do is just go to themes and I'm going to change to the Christmas theme. And you can see here we've got Dither now with a little Santa hat on and a scarf. I did a couple of new themes in this one. It's Christmas, Christmas Eve, White Christmas if you want a light mode, but that's a little bit mad for my eyes right now. We've got some other ones like bubblegum, infrared, and some others, but I'm just going to go for the regular Christmas theme with the Santa Dither hat for now. And I'm just going to open up an image. So as always, you can obviously do everything you used to be able to do in Dither, which is dithering. So I'm going to load up this image of the moon, or it's like a render I think I got off of Unsplash, and I'm going to pull in a source palette. We added the source palette category in version 5. And then outside of just the theme change, if you want to get to the rest of this update, if you just click on effects here, you will notice now that rather than just being epsilon glow, there are JPEG glitch effects and chromatic effects. So to get the most out of these, I would recommend using them in combination with epsilon glow. They were made like to complement epsilon glow basically. I'm just gonna go and apply the modulated diffuse Y dithering, and I'm gonna up the depth just a little bit. For this one, just because it's an effect that I like, I'm gonna switch to the waveform dithering, which is in the glitch effects category. And I'm just setting up a dither that I like to mess with these type of effects. If you want to know more about the waveform effects, I've done some videos on that now, but all I'm basically doing is going quite low scale, somewhere in the middle with wave density, and then turning down the contrast so that I just have this very basic orb to demo some of the effects on. So now to enable epsilon glow, you've got to tick the box that just appears next to all of these. So if you just click the box next to epsilon glow, that will toggle it on, and I'm just going to lower my threshold so more of the image is glowing, and I'm going to up the depth as well on the color palette that I've selected. So cool, like glitchy dithering effect. I've covered plenty of cool glitchy dithering effects on the channel. So if you want a different cool glitchy effect to combine these effects I'm about to show you with, then just make your own. It doesn't really matter what the base effect is here. So top to bottom, from JPEG glitch effects, we've got block shift, channel swap, scanline offset, block scramble, and interlace corruption. So if I enable block shift and just turn that up a little bit, you will see basically these dots that appear, and they, like it says, they shift around the image. So these are 8x8 grid dots that are essentially taken at random from other parts of the image and shifted around. Obviously not so much with the waveform dither, but if you switch to something like Floyd Steinberg or a diffusion dithering algorithm, this can be like complementary as a secondary pattern that goes on top of the dithering pattern. All of these effects are toggleable as well. So if you set up the effect and you just want to quickly disable the preview or turn it off, you won't lose your settings or anything. So I'm going to hide the block shift for now and move down to channel swap. So really similar effect in channel swap. If I turn this up, it's just going to create color errors in the blocks instead this time. And the higher you go, the more errors there will be. So obviously all the way at 100, obviously this does kind of look silly. I wouldn't recommend going all the way to 100, but really similar to block shift, except we're just creating color errors and shifting the hue instead. Next, we've got scanline offset, which is really similar to interlace corruption. So you can add these glitchy horizontal lines to your image, which are created by stretching various pixels from, a specific line of pixels or a specific row. And I'm just going to switch back to the waveform just to show you the next one, because the next one, these are my favorite effects to use in combination with dithering. Long before Dither or before I was capable of putting things like this together, I used to use dithering in my work with chromatic aberration all the time. So the chromatic effects, what you're essentially doing is setting up a max displacement value. So I put that straight to 20 generally, and then you can set up some quite extreme color channel distortion using these 3 sliders. If I switch to like an abstract color palette or just something a bit different, you'll be able to see, in fact, if I just remove the palette altogether, you can see more clearly, you know, the channels being distorted around. This can look really cool if you've got some more identifiable shapes and forms in your dithering. So if I reset all these and load in this 3D render of a face and then switch to a different dithering algorithm and set up like a dither kind of like this, toggle on the glow with a low threshold and then turn on the chromatic aberration, turn up the displace and then start moving around these channels, the glitch effect that this creates on the image is just, in my opinion, like really complementary to dithering. And I think the reason for that is obviously not this specific dithering algorithm, but generally dithering being used in retro like gaming, retro consoles and stuff, and pixel art being run through CRT monitors and stuff like back when chromatic aberration was more of a common artifact of technology, like retro technology at the time. I think that's why these complement each other so well, because something in your brain just like recognizes this as being like in the category of being retro, and especially like combining that with the glow as well. I don't know, I just, something about it's like it's kind of magic. They just work together really well. From here, it's really all just like experimenting, and obviously you can add all of these effects in now with all the previous tutorials I've made. So nothing's really changed about the dithering process. These are all post dithering effects, which means everything you already know about Ditherboy and everything you already know about dithering works with this stuff now. So I don't really have like a ton of stuff to show you about how it all works. It's just as simple as that. You can just untick the effects if you don't want them and carry on as normal as if they don't even exist. But I really like these effects, and maybe I'll talk about this somewhere else. But this year in 2025, we actually made a whole other software that these effects are taken from. So I have some other effects that are similar that will go in hopefully at some point in the future if we can get them like moved across properly. That's probably all I'm going to say on that for now. But yeah, I love these effects. They're in there for free now, free update for Christmas, and more coming next year. I'll leave Ditherboy linked below this video, and thanks for all the support in 2025. I will see you in the next one.